We've actually got a number of questions here from the crowd, but maybe this first question I'll ask you, Christina, and we actually chatted about it very briefly. How are you answering concerns about safety? We've learned of drones interfering with aircraft that are landing at airports. Maybe you could speak to that and expand on safety issues regarding drones.
Okay, basically, when people are talking about drones, the first issue people may think about is the safety. But for all the DJI drones, we actually trying to put all the technology we can into the drone. So for every drone that you bought from DJI, the drone actually have the geofencing system. What does it mean by geofencing? Basically, the drone know where you are right now. So when you're getting close to the airport, 5 miles away, within 5 miles of airport, the drone knows. And then the drone will alert you, say, this is no-fly zone. And even when you're trying to take off the drone won't let you take off. And when I'm flying like 7 miles away from the airport, I'm trying to get close to the airport. And when you're getting close to the 5 miles limit, the drone will say, now I'm in the no-fly zone. You cannot fly further, no matter how hard you push, and the drone will force you to landing. So basically, it is hard for a DJI drone to break into that fencing and then go into the airport area. And this airport area, I'm not talking about the consumer, like all the international airport that we trying to do, all the helicopter takeoff, and also the water plane. Last time I traveled to Vancouver, there's also a lot of water airplane. So for all those airplanes, we actually put the geofencing into it. And some of the area that is very sensitive, we also added into the no-fly zone, for example, in Beijing. So within Liuhuan, so the airplane couldn't take off within Liuhuan. So that's basically what we actually can do as a drone company. And also we have all the GPS updated every day. Whenever there's a new airport being built up, we add the data into it. So other than geofencing, we also have another issue, another technology that is the optical avoidance I mentioned just now. So not only about you crashing an airplane or a huge construction area, but also people, car, or even the wall. So for example, if the consumer don't know how to control the drone and like not on purposely hit the wall or people, but the drone can actually detect it. There's the optical in front of me, the drone won't let you go further, no matter how hard you push it. So those are the technology we can do for the drone industry as well. So these are the issues that we can solve at this moment, and we keep on pushing it further.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, Christina. This next question is for you, Phil. And this is from somebody who's a big fan of Handy. But has I guess an economic question, because at the very end of it, it says, P.S. I love it. But the question is this: if I do not use any of Handy's features and only use the phone and the internet, again, which are excellent, then how do you make money from them using the Handy device?
So I hope you are indeed using the content on the device, but so the business model for us is that because of the value that we're providing to hotels, we actually there is a subscription charge for hotels to deploy the device, and what we're able to show for hotels is that from within 30 days of launching our device, the hotel would have realized that it is ROI positive to deploy our device. Now that being said, in addition to using all the services on the device, we also sell, for example, tickets to Disneyland, Ocean Park on the device. So that's also another way for us to collect our revenue stream, if you will. But the idea is that it's hotels are the ones who are really experiencing a lot of value for the device, and they're paying a subscription charge for that. So hopefully, with or without the guests using it, we're still able to stay alive.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Thank you. Question for you, Rex. And this maybe speaks about your target market audience, and so you have a very niche market player. So maybe you could ask us two parts: who do you market to, and then what in that marketing? What are the challenges in scaling up your business?
Yeah, most of our clients now are governments. And we are starting to sell our products to private plantations because they are having the same issues of forest fire wildfire, and also pest and disease invasion. So the most difficult part is that you have so limited clients in all over the world. So it's like, okay, in China we got Chinese forestry, okay, and that's done. So it's difficult to scale like companies like DJI, where you can have like millions of consumer clients. But we are very stable, growing business, and the only way that you can persuade a government to buy your products is to do a lot of tests with them, do a lot of certifications according to their local standards. So one example is that when we try to sell to Brazil, they say that, okay, your power supply should be made in Brazil. Oh, well, okay, we try to do that. So we swap our power supply with a Brazilian company, so we can get in. But the most difficult part is that how do you know before you try to manufacture the product? This is quite hard, and we need a lot of intelligence on that, and in knowing the regulations or sort of like that. Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. A question for you now, Christina. I recall in your presentation something 72% market share, which is amazing. Maybe you could share not only how you got there, but how do you sustain a 72% market share in this very, very competitive world that we operate within?
I think one of the issues is the technology itself. Like, you can see how hard we try to push the technology. From Phantom 2, we only have the HD version camera, but on Phantom 3, we have the 4K camera. And Phantom 4, we have the 20 megapixel and also 4K camera. You can see how DJI trying to push our own self. Like, we're not trying to compete with other competitors in the industry, but also we're trying to compete with ourselves as well. Within DJI, the R&D team actually pushed so hard. Like, we have the Maverick line, we have the Phantom line, we have the Inspire line. Like, different product line, they also compete with themselves. No matter, like, once we have the latest technology, we push the latest product out to the market. So a lot of media people actually come to us and ask, like, why you launch a product so quickly? Basically, every 3 to 5 months, we launch a product. This year, we launched Phantom 4, we launched Osmo Mobile, and then we launched Maverick, and then Phantom 4 Professional, Inspire 2, and not only saying about the industrial, we have the agriculture drone, we have the Matrix 600, Ronin MX. So these are the products we launched in 2016. So this is how DJI push ourselves to that far, and this is how we have such high market share. We don't really do a lot of marketing campaign. Like, maybe none of you actually see a TV campaign for DJI. Probably you will see from the Cathay Pacific, the catalog, there is a Phantom 4 on it, or like Apple store, you probably see the DJI Phantom 4 edit. So other than that, DJI don't do a lot of advertisement. I think the technology itself, the product itself, how elegant, how precisely we want the technology to be, is where we put ourselves to be today.
Great, thank you very much. We just have time for 2 last questions. Back to you, Phil. I understand that the Singapore government had approached you to relocate to Singapore by providing matching funding. Why did you choose to stay in Hong Kong?
Well, so I think for the Singapore, I think the Singapore transaction that you were talking about, it's actually working closely with the Singapore Tourism Board in providing a lot of tourism industry enhancements and working with the local hospitality industry in driving handy into the city. Now, it's interesting you brought that up because I think we're a Hong Kong company, we're a Hong Kong hospitality company, and you know, we actually have been trying to work very closely with the Hong Kong Tourism Board, but you know, for strange turns of events, we actually were significantly closer with the Singapore Tourism Board as far as, you know, pushing tourism within Singapore rather than Hong Kong. You know, that's something that I think, you know, I think maybe we have to try harder in reaching out to tourism folks here in Hong Kong. But you know, we I think with the hospitality support, I think we're getting a lot here in Hong Kong. For the tourism side, interestingly, we are getting significantly more support from Singapore. So I'm not sure if I answered your question.
That's a very good question, a very good answer, and hope somebody from the Hong Kong Tourism Board is here in there, or at least.
Yes.
Okay, great. Excellent. Thank you very much, Phil. Last question, and please no more shots at Canada in this response. And I guess it's the question is, Rex, for you. You've got this niche product, global application. What's next? What's the vision next of what you're going to do with your company?
Yeah, so actually one of the core development in our team is a real-time GIS system, geographical information system, that collects all the data coming from robots, sensors, drones, all sorts of data source that we can get. And then we create a virtual globe that updates all the time, just like the God's wheel, so that you know what kind of disasters is happening nearby. And you can tell everyone how to get rid of the issue by putting out the fire at a very early stage, or evacuate if there is a leakage in gas or a toxic gas or sort of like that. So we try to create the God's view for everyone so that we can share the data to everyone. So this is our next step. At this stage, we are deploying our own drones and own robots. And next step, we'll try to collaborate with all other vendors and companies like DJI. We already have some DJI drones operating. And I need to say one thing about Canada is because the reason why we got so many images of fires in Canada is because the government is very proactive in supporting this kind of innovations. Yeah.
Great answer. First off, we did go a few minutes over, but I think you will agree with me that this was a fabulous session and three very incredible young people. So please join me in thanking them.